With so many choices, how do I pick just one? And welcome back to Cliffieland. This is weekend country number 137 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every single country in the world. And tonight we're up to the Philippines, or technically the Republic of the Philippines. It's an archipelago island nation located in the Western Pacific Ocean, shares maritime borders with Taiwan, Japan, Vietnam, Palau, Malaysia, and Indonesia, and it's a very dense country with one of the world's largest diasporas. The food is influenced greatly by the local island tradition, but then also very strongly by the Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, as well as the Spanish tradition, because it was a Spanish colony for over 300 years, as well as there being an American influence because it was controlled by the United States for some time in the 20th century. Its food is the stuff of legend. It's a great fusion cuisine. There's a million different things to pick from, and we had to deal with this all last time, so let's see how things went when we tried things then. Well, 4 years ago on the Global Cooking Challenge, I was able to cook and stream over 2 nights, doing a total of 4 dishes, or technically 5. On one of the nights, we did a particular favorite, which is called lumpia, which is their version of egg rolls, although it uses a particular filling and a particular lumpia wrapper. It's deep fried. I was gonna make like 30, I wound up making 8, and freezing some, and it was a whole big deal. But I deep fried them, I had a deep fryer then, and they were super, super delicious, and unfortunately, we're not doing that now, because I don't have a deep fryer anymore. On that same night, I also made a coconut chicken curry, which was very delicious, and I'm sorry we're not able to do that one either, because what we're doing here is what we did on the other night, which is a combination of 2.5 dishes. One dish is a caramelized pork adobo. Now, pork adobo is a national favorite. I understand there's a million different varieties of it, and this is one. I am not saying that this is the one true recipe. I found it. Links to the originals are in the About section, but it was really tasty. My only complaint is it didn't reduce enough for the sauce to be syrupy, and we're gonna see if that happens again. Spoiler alert, it does. And we served that with a green papaya in coconut milk, and that was very nice. My only complaint that time was that the pieces of green papaya were a little bit too big. We'll see how things go this time. But enough of all that, we need to see what go into tonight's 2 dishes. First, for our Filipino pork adobo, we'll need about 2 pounds of pork. You can use pork shoulder or pork belly. We're using pork belly here. Cut into 2-inch cubes. 1/2 cup of soy sauce, 1/2 cup of vinegar, in this case we're using cane vinegar, 1/2 cup of whole garlic cloves, 2 bay leaves, 1/2 tablespoon of whole black peppercorns, 2 tablespoons of canola oil, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, though I imagine you could also use coconut palm sugar here, and 1 liter or about 4 1/4 cups of water. And then for our green papaya with lemongrass and coconut milk, we'll need 1 small-sized green papaya, peeled and sliced thinly into 1/2-inch thick pieces, 2 cloves of garlic diced, 1 can of coconut cream, 1 large tomato cut into chunks, about 1 or 1/2 a stalk of lemongrass, smoked fish or tinapa, flaked, which is optional, a few Thai chilies, also optional, 1 small onion sliced, and salt to taste. Well, that looks super delicious. We gotta get cooking. First, in a large bowl, place the pork, soy sauce, vinegar, garlic, bay leaves, and pepper. Stir to coat thoroughly. Cover and let marinate for 30 minutes. Then drain the pork, reserving the marinade in a bowl, and set it aside. In a skillet, heat the oil in a pan over medium-high heat. Then add the drained pork and saute for a few minutes until brown. Add the brown sugar, brown the pork, and wait until the sugar caramelizes. Then add in the reserved marinade and the water and boil for 5 minutes. Lower the heat and simmer until tender, about 40 to 60 minutes. The sauce should have a syrup-like consistency when it's done. Reserve 1/4 cup of the coconut cream. Then in a saucepan place the rest of the coconut cream, the papaya, tomato, onions, garlic, and the lemongrass beaten and flattened first to release the flavor. Stir, and then bring to a boil. After 5 minutes, add the smoked fish and chili peppers and cook for another 10 minutes until the papaya is tender. Taste and season with salt. Plate servings of the coconut rice. Plate servings of the pork adobo. Spoon the sauce over the pork and rice. And plate servings of the papaya. Dress with the reserved coconut cream and serve hot. How'd that all turn out? Well, it was pretty good, I must say. Let's start out with that green papaya and coconut. Now, it was really good, although I think there was something that I probably did wrong, and I may want your input on this. The green papaya was very, very bitter, and I think that had to do with the level of ripeness or unripeness. And if you have more experience with green papaya, please share that in the comments. Because it was really nice, but again, that bitterness did kind of overpower it. So therefore, the green papaya and coconut milk gets a 3 out of 5 globes. I'm sure it would be better if I, had that bitterness thing right, because I know it didn't taste that way last time. But onto that caramelized pork adobo. That was super, super, super delicious. I loved it. I was really kind of nervous using the pork belly because it has big parts of fat in it, but that got really nice and tender, and the entire thing was super delicious. A great combination of the saltiness from the soy sauce and the sweetness from the sugar and the acid from the cane vinegar. And again, we use cane vinegar because the food of the Philippines is very similar to the food of Guam, and we use cane sugar for what we cook for Guam, so it was really tasty. My only complaint again was that the syrup didn't reduce down to a syrup. It was still kind of liquidy, but it was really good, and I put that over the coconut rice, which incidentally is the same coconut rice I made back for Indonesia if you want to check out that video. But all in all, the caramelized pork adobo was super delicious. Gonna give that one 4 out of 5 globes. It would be a 5 if the syrup thing had worked out properly. So that does it for this stint here in the Philippines. Next week we go back to Europe after a long time to have the food of Poland. See you then. And remember, if you'd like to see our streams live when they happen, follow us on Periscope or Facebook Live. Like and subscribe to be advised when these videos are posted. If you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food that we're cooking, sound off in the comments. Remember, links to the original recipes, remember these aren't my recipes, are found in the About section. And tune in next time. Thanks for watching and happy eating!